The Panama Canal transit begins at 5 a.m. and it goes until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you think I'm getting up at 5 a.m., no, I am not. It takes all day. And a little lock goes a long way.
Buenos dias. We are sitting here, actually anchored, waiting our turn. I think the captain said we should enter the first locks around 9:45, the Gatun locks. I know a pilot has to come on board for the entire transit, which is supposed to take 12 hours. Our pilot is on board. They're raising the anchor, and we're going to start moving toward the canal. The Panama Canal connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through the narrow Isthmus of Panama. The length from shoreline to shoreline is about 40 miles, 65 and was completed in August of 1914. We're going to have a tugboat behind us. The tugboat is $3,000 an hour. They just made an announcement it's better to have a tugboat and not need it than to need a tugboat all of a sudden and not have it. And we're getting ready to enter the first lock, the Gatun locks. When we visited Panama 5 years ago, we watched the ships going through the Miraflores locks that's close to Panama City. It is one of the most strategic artificial waterways in the world, the other being the Suez Canal. Otherwise, ships sailing between the east and west coasts of the United States would have to go around Cape Horn in South America. This shortens the voyage by around 8,000 nautical miles or 15,000 kilometers using the canal. From its opening in 1914 until 1979, the Panama Canal was controlled solely by the United States, which built it. But control passed to the Panama Canal Commission in 1979, and then complete control to Panama itself in 1999. The locks operate by gravity flow of water from Gatun, Alajuela, and Miraflores lakes, which are fed by rivers. The locks are of uniform length, width, and depth, and were built in pairs to permit simultaneous transit of vessels in either direction. How are we doing there? Those are called mules. At one time, there were actual mules that towed the ships in and out of the locks. Watching the ship enter a lock after like 10 minutes is like watching paint dry. Those are the gates that will close when the ship is totally in, and then we will be going up. The mules, or cog trains, serve to keep the ship central in the lock. You can see the closed gates back there, and the water is already coming in as we slowly rise. The gates are operated by a control tower, which is located on the wall that separates each pair of locks, and from which the flooding or emptying of the lock chambers is also controlled. And there are the gates for lock number 2. There are 4 Atlantico locks. This is our last lock for the morning. Then we go across
different lakes in past Gamboa, and then the last locks into the Pacific. Done with our little mule at this end anyhow, and we're coming into Gatun Lake. It's going to be a long transit, hours, before we hit the locks, the Miraflores locks.
Not the longest in Panama, but the most important one, because without it, there would be no Panama Canal. All of the water needed for the operation of the canal is fresh water coming from this lake created by damming that river. And immediately after that, we will be entering the Gaylord Cut, or Culebra Cut as it's known too. It's the narrowest, shallowest part of the Panama Canal. It's the part of the Panama Canal where the navigation of large vessels is the trickiest. And this is where they need the assistance of the Panama Canal tugboats to safely navigate this section.
There are videos up on my channel taken in Gamboa. This is where we are right now, Gamboa, on the canal. We stayed at a jungle resort there. We're now in the last section of locks, the Miraflores locks. And once we get through there, it's out into the Pacific Ocean. We're going down the levels on this particular side of the locks, of the Miraflores locks. See the walls getting higher and higher. And there's the gate for this series. There's the next set of locks. There's the gate for the next set. This is where you come if you want to watch the ships transiting the Panama Canal. We were here 5 years ago, and there is a vid up on my channel. Inside is a museum showing how they built the Panama Canal.
Waving back. Interesting.
Ooh, that is a pelican out there. Pelican. The pilot is getting off our ship now. We are piloted through and a job well done. Man, look at this one. The ship has 2 tugs. One alongside, one behind. There's Panama City way out there in the distance. And we are going to pass under Bridge of the Americas. It connects Central America and South America, if you've got a hankering to drive that way. The bridge has a total length of 1654 meters, 5,425 feet in 14 spans. That's a neat looking ship. A rainbow. We need a rainbow.